Alright, so I know this review is coming a little bit late, but I've been sick. I had a terrible cold the past couple days, actually past couple weeks, so I haven't been able to make videos like I normally have been able to do. I mean, I was able to get out the Christmas special, but even in that, you can tell that I'm just terribly sick, and I just didn't feel like making any videos, and I wanted to get better because if I'm going to talk about a movie to you guys, I'm going to want to do it to where I'm not sick and can actually give my full thoughts without having to sniff like every 4 seconds, I guess. While I was sick, I did manage to see Jumanji and contaminated that entire theater. But who cares about getting sick, because today, I kid you not, we're talking about what might be the best video game movie ever made. And I can't believe I'm saying that.
Get on my back!
Hell no!
I'll carry you, come on!
I would rather die.
Get on my back!
Nope, I'm gonna die. Put me down!
What's up guys, I'm Jacob Suggs and welcome back to another video. And today we're talking about Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, the very highly anticipated, everybody asked for it, sequel to Jumanji. I don't know what it is for Zathura, that's the title of the movie, right? Zathura, that's it. When it comes to these previous films, I actually really like Jumanji. I liked it a lot growing up, and I think it's a really fun, good time, but I don't think it's anything to necessarily write home about. It's not like this amazing, fantastic movie. It's just a really great movie and fun movie that people kind of just remember for the sake of Robin Williams being in the movie. And when it comes to Zathura, I actually saw that in theaters with my dad, and that one's actually much better to me. I've always liked Zathura a little bit more, maybe because of the entire like space setting thing, but putting that aside, I actually think that both are good films. They're just not great films, you know? Now, whenever I walked into Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, I kind of had a lot of low expectations. I didn't expect it to be good, but literally everybody that I talked to said that it was just this really fun, entertaining movie that was actually quite good, and I didn't believe it. I mean, we're living in a world to where everything's rebooted, so I just kind of threw it off as like, oh, it's just another reboot of whatever. I'm not going to care for it. I'll forget about it in like 3 months, whatever. Seeing this movie and walking out of this movie, and the more I think about it, the more I enjoy this movie. Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle is a really fun time with a great cast, great action, and just a load of fun. This movie is literally the definition of a B movie. It kind of reminds me of Kong Skull Island from earlier this year, to where it was really self-aware and knew what it was, and it was really big and loud and exciting, and it kind of had a throwback to like classic 80s, 70s films that took place in the jungle and like were very contained and confined. Jumanji very much feels like that, but at the same time, I would say that it has a mind of its own, and since the film is so self-aware and willing to accept what it is, you just have a fun time watching it, and the film has a fun time being the film. There are no moments in this movie that drag. Literally from start to finish, it is one big thrill ride with one big action scene after another, and I know that might sound bad, however, it really isn't. All the action scenes in this movie are a ton of fun to watch. They're very well shot, and the cast's kind of chemistry working together is just kind of what makes this movie. Obviously, with The Rock and Kevin Hart, you're kind of getting what you expect. I mean, both are really likable guys, and I like both Kevin Hart and The Rock. However, let's just admit it, Dwayne Johnson always plays Dwayne Johnson, and Kevin Hart always plays Kevin Hart. I mean, we kind of saw that with Central Intelligence, and I know that other reviewers have kind of touched on that as well, but there's no denying that the two actors have chemistry working together, and they work well off one another enough to where I really had a fun time watching them work together in this movie. But perhaps the best character in this entire movie, because he actually breaks typecast, is Jack Black. If you don't know the plot to this movie, essentially 4 kids, they find Jumanji, which is now a video game, and they're transported into the video game, but now they've got the bodies of like Kevin Hart, The Rock, Karen Gillan, I think that's how you say her name, and Jack Black. So essentially, that's the plot of this movie. Now, it's not as complex or convoluted as I might have just made it sound. I can promise you that. It's a lot more simple and straightforward than that. In fact, this entire movie is pretty straightforward and simple if you're asking me. However, why I say Jack Black stands out in this movie is because Jack Black does not play who Jack Black normally plays. Jack Black plays a young, preppy teenage girl trapped in the body of Jack Black. You might think that sounds a little bit cheesy and corny or whatever, but guys, he kills it. He literally nails it the entire movie. Jack Black is by far my favorite part of this entire movie, and I absolutely had a lot of fun watching him in this film. In fact, I'd say the entire cast of this movie is what makes this movie. Without a cast of this size or this magnitude, you'd really just have an alright movie and maybe another reboot film that's very forgettable. However, in this case, I'd say that the cast is really what makes this film something special. They add so much heart and emotion into this film that without it, I don't know where this film would be. One of my biggest complaints with any action movie ever is that action scenes are just kind of thrown into a film. That's not how you do them, because action without purpose is just meaningless action, and it results in something like Michael Bay's Transformers, which it ain't good. But that's not the case in this film. See, the thing that makes it interesting and the thing that gives us the stakes for the film is that each character has 3 lives tattooed onto their arm. And once you lose all 3 lives, you don't only just die in the game, you die in real life, which we've kind of seen before, but at the same time, it does add a lot of stakes to the action scenes that happen in this movie. It's actually really cool.
Die in the game, you die for real.
It's like a Spy Kids 3, game over.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I love it.
I'm the guy. It's Elijah Wood, too. Because essentially the movie is one big video game, they do have cutscenes, and they do cutscenes in a really awesome way that I've always wanted to see in a video game movie, or in just a movie that of this genre that's trying to, accomplish the same thing that Jumanji was trying to do. They did cutscenes in this movie in such a unique and clever way. I absolutely loved it. You hear the characters talking over like how they can't skip it, even though they really want to skip it. And essentially that's what makes our villain, even though he's like really weak, at least somewhat interesting, because even the main characters don't care about him. They want to skip these cutscenes as much as we do. It's obviously just exposition. I love that so much. However, I will admit that, unfortunately, they kind of dropped the cutscene thing about mid-movie, and that kind of let me down, because I would have loved to see him stay with it, and do stuff like that. However, they really just don't, so it's just kind of whatever. And this movie isn't perfect, obviously. It's got flaws, but if you look at it as a really fun B-movie, I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's a really good time, and I'm going to give Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle a 7 out of 10. I can't believe that I'm saying that. I had a blast with this film. I'd love to see it again. It's a really colorful, vibrant, fun experience, and I wholeheartedly recommend that you go see this movie. So have you seen Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, on Frame by Frame, remember the name. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.